Hey everybody, this is Chris from Highland CCG. We've got a baseball mail day video for you, so stay tuned. Hey folks, this is Chris, Highland CCG. Got a mail day here, Yankee 1933 Goudey, and very excited to add this to the collection, so let's check it out. Alright, we have Vernon Lefty Gomez. Alright, this is a 3.5 from SGC. It's the old style label, so you have a 45, but that translates to a 3.5. And yeah, looks quite rough. Colors are not great. The corners are terrible. Centering is pretty good, and the edges are in bad shape. So, rough card all around. The back looks a lot better than the front, but yeah, overall, not in great shape, but also didn't cost a whole lot, so there's trade-offs. I think the Gomez cards in general are a little pricey, so this was kind of the best I wanted to do on that one. But it's a cool card. The pose is cool. Throwing the ball. He's got the crowd behind him. Nice green grass. So I enjoy that. I think that's cool. And it's going to look good displayed. Vernon Gomez. Lefty Gomez was a left-handed pitcher, hence the lefty. And he played between 1930 and 1943 for the Yankees and then the Washington Senators. He was born in Rodeo, California in 1908. He was the youngest of 8 children. His father managed a 1,000-acre ranch, and Lefty and his brothers rode horses on the ranch, and they worked there as ranch hands. He also enjoyed playing the saxophone, which his older brother helped him buy his first saxophone, and he liked to play sandlot baseball. He was actually scouted, I believe, in the sandlots by somebody from the San Francisco Seals, who signed him to a contract when he was about 20 years old. And then in 1930, he made his major league debut after the New York Yankees purchased his contract from the Seals for $39,000. But he only pitched 15 games in the first season, and he finished with a 2.5 win-loss, which is not great, and a 5.5 ERA, which is also not great. The Yankees were concerned about his weight. He was 6'2", and at that time he only weighed 155 pounds. So they followed and this is disturbing, but I guess common medical practice at the time was removing most of his teeth and having him drink 3 quarts of milk every day. And they gave him an unlimited meal allowance on road games. So that's pretty wild. I don't know if I would let my employer pull all my teeth out and just make me drink milk all day, but I guess that was what you did back then. But it worked. 1931, Gomez had the second best ERA in the American League, and between 1933 and 39, Gomez was a 20-game winner 4 times, and he was an all-star every year. Remember, 33 was the first all-star game, and he led the league twice in wins, twice in winning percentage, twice in ERA, and he was a league leader in shutouts 3 times. So I don't know, maybe they were onto something. But yeah, as I said, 1933 was the first year of the all-star game. Lefty Gomez was the winning pitcher for the American League, and he also drove in the first run of the game, which was very unusual because he was a pretty terrible batter. He had the worst. He actually had the 5th worst on-base percentage among players with at least 1,000 appearances. 1934, he set the record for most innings pitched in an all-star game, 6. And it was actually his best season overall. He had recorded 26 wins. He led the league in wins, ERA, strikeout, and shutouts. He also did that in 1937. His overall winning percentage of .649 is 15th highest ever among pitchers with 200 or more decisions. And if you break that group up more and only look at pitchers who debuted between 1900 and 1950, only Lefty Grove, Christy Mathewson, and Whitey Ford had more victories and a higher winning percentage. So he's in very good company there. Gomez also won 6 World Series games without a loss, which is a postseason record. And he won 1 game in 1932, 2 games in 1936, 2 in 37, and 1 in 38. And in the 37 series, he also got a World Series record, kind of a weird one. He was walked twice in the same inning. So I guess that's the only time that's happened in a World Series. Gomez's other nicknames, besides Lefty, included El Gufo and Goofy Gomez because of his well-known sense of humor. A couple examples here. On a foggy night, there was a game there was a lot of fog, and when he got up to bat, he lit a match, and the umpire joked with him and said, "Is that going to help you see Feller's fastball?" Bob Feller was pitching, and Gomez said, "No, I'm not concerned about that. I want to make sure he can see me." And I guess he was also a notorious brushback pitcher, because a reporter asked if he would brush back his own mother, and Gomez said, "You're damn right I would. She's a good hitter." So, Goofy Gomez. In 1940, Gomez suffered an arm injury, but he played well in 1941. Ultimately, though, in 1943, his contract was sold to the Boston Braves. But he never played a game for the Braves, and later in the season, he was signed to the Washington Senators, where he only played 1 game. It was a pretty bad game. He allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, and 5 walks. And during the game, he pulled a muscle in his shoulder, and that just prompted him to retire after the game. He had a 189-102 career record win-loss. He had 1,468 strikeouts and a 3.3 ERA in 2,503 innings pitched. After he retired, he was often hired as a speaker at dinners due to his amusing anecdotes about his playing days. He was inducted to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1972 by the Veterans Committee by unanimous decision. In 1983, the 50th All-Star Game took place, and that game was dedicated to Lefty Gomez. He was the last surviving player from the original 1933 game. On August 2nd, 1987, he and Whitey Ford received plaques in Monument Park at Yankee Stadium. So that's a little bit about Lefty Gomez. Good pitcher, questionable medical practices, but I guess it worked because he exploded out of the gate after that and never really slowed down until he hurt his shoulder. So pretty wild stuff. The kind of stuff you don't hear about these days, for sure. It's always interesting to learn about the older players because it was the Wild West back then. So that's all I had for you. Hope you enjoyed taking a look at the card, hearing a little bit about Vernon Lefty Gomez. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope tomorrow's even better, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.